at Dycom Industries. After serving in the Air Force and working as an Air Force recruiter and flight chief, Brian now focuses on sourcing veteran talent for telecommunications infrastructure roles, drawing on his HR and leadership experience to bridge military skills with those civilian opportunities. He's based in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he excels at guiding transitions by matching resilience, discipline, and teamwork to industry demands. Brian, thanks for being here and your insights to share with us and recruiting, your military experience, and your very current transition experience. So welcome, sir. Did I manage to get all the highlights on you?
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Hello everyone. So I just got done with SkillBridge. I'm actually on terminal still, and I worked with Allegiant Vets and Seven Eagle. I was a part of it when it was together. So kind of wanted to give you like my SkillBridge background and then my transition to a job, and then I'm going to pass it over to Daniela, who works for the company. Um, so it was a struggle at first. I started SkillBridge, and you guys do your Friday morning wins, and you hear everyone winning, and that's awesome. Like you love it, but sometimes you can kind of get beat down, discouraged, especially like if you're coming towards the end of your SkillBridge. Like how I was fortunate enough to do 3 months, and it literally took 2.5, almost 3 months until I got a job. Just sent in multiple applications, trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, what I can do right, networking. So, biggest advice is make sure that you take this serious if you do want to get a job. So make sure that you're networking, you're working on your resume properly, you're tailoring your resume to the correct companies. Everything that they're teaching you there at Seven Eagle, make sure that you're actually applying it, because it doesn't just happen overnight unless you get lucky, something opens up at the right moment, or you know someone. So just make sure that you're using the tools that you guys get. So I'm gonna pass it over to Daniela. If you can, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. Hey, Danielle, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. And I'm going to share my screen because we kind of have a little bit of a presentation.
Sure.
Are we able to see my screen?
Hang on. Yes, I got it. Go for it.
And it's showing the Dycom who we are?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure. Well, awesome. It's a pleasure to meet everybody. My name is Daniela LeBlanc-Eggett. I'll actually get to the slide that it has that on so you can actually see. So my name is Daniela LeBlanc-Eggett. I am a talent acquisition manager here at Dycom. I've been with the company not much longer than Brian. I actually started here in April. And I think my screen has frozen. Is it showing okay for everybody?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, perfect. So Brian is a very great addition to the team. We brought him on, and he's being very modest in the things that he's saying about himself. It was probably a very hard search, and he did keep at it. We actually found him by searching because we were looking for a military vet who could also work on our military recruitment here at Dycom. But I'd want to share a little bit more about the organization so you guys can see maybe some of the jobs that we have open that we can share with you guys to hopefully help on your journey with exiting out of military and entering the civilian world. So we'll go briefly over kind of who we are, what we do, why you want to work with us. And then a little bit about who we are. I hope you guys don't mind. I want to share a video about our organization. If you guys can let me know if you can hear the audio on it.
Yeah, it's usually the tricky part.
Yeah.
No audio. You have to go into the tools and select to share audio. I think which one is it? I think it's under the share. Oops. I think if I recall correctly, so I can't share right now. I can't. Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully that worked.
At Dycom, we are the people
connecting America.
And I'm very, very proud to be part of that team.
Through the Dycom family of companies, over 15,000 people grab their tools every morning and get to work bringing high-speed internet to the United States. Our teams are digging, climbing, scheduling, coordinating, planning, placing, managing, testing, pulling, lashing, splicing, and making ready the infrastructure that is getting people online and in touch. And we're doing it all with a strong focus on your safety. Because you are our most important asset. You are the voice of our company, the face of our brand, and the heartbeat of our culture. Our teams are the final step in getting people connected, whether they're in metropolitan San Francisco, the suburbs of Hartford, or the farmlands of Boxville. With decades perfecting our craft and a single vision and mission guiding us, we're rolling up our sleeves and getting our hands dirty to bridge the digital divide, day in and day out. Connection. It's both a technological wonder and the oldest of all human needs and emotions. It inspires. It teaches. It entertains. It makes us laugh. It makes us cry. It saves lives. And it brings people together. It can change the world. At Dycom, we are proud to be the people connecting America.
So hopefully I didn't blow out everybody's eardrums with that. Oh, sorry about that. So with our organization, we are actually about 16,000 employees across the United States, which is a pretty large organization. And starting in January, we'll actually be about 19,500 strong. We just made our newest acquisition. So it's a very large organization across all 50 states. We have about 600 field offices and, like I said, 16,000 currently employees. We have a proven record of providing services on time and within budget. We have a significant scale of $1.4 billion and fleet of 52,000 plus assets. And then hundreds of thousands of miles of fiber across the United States built within homes with FTTP. Right now we are at 37 independently operated subsidiaries, but like I said, next year it'll be at 38. And for our fiscal year of 2025, we've reported $4.7 billion in revenue. And the funny story of how we actually started, we started as a mobile home manufacturing organization in 1969 in West Palm Beach, Florida. And then in 1981, decided that was not the route to go and changed into a telecommunications and kind of cable internet, because back then it was, the landline and the cable line. And now we've verged into the world of telecommunications, and we are utilizing data centers. We're doing anything that has with the wiring with telecommunications. This is a map of our footprint, which exists 91% of the US population, 91% of the households, and 74% of the geography across the United States. And like I said, across 50 states. It can get confusing because we actually are a parent company as Dycom, and we have multiple subsidiaries who operate independently within their own names. And you'll see right here all of the organizations that fall under our umbrella. And so if there is a state that's in the United States and a city, we are working in that city to create and do work to create that infrastructure. A lot about our organization and our mission and vision, which I actually want to turn over to Brian a little bit to talk about our mission and vision and how it matches the military's mission and vision.
Yeah, so when I first started, I could tell like their opinion mattered quite a bit. Like during the interview process, they wanted to know about my military experience and what I brought to make sure that it aligned with their needs. So one of the things first that really stood out to me is when I got accepted and I was like, hey, do you care if I take a vacation first? Like I have a family trip already planned and everything, and it was in 2 weeks. It was no issue whatsoever. They told me to take the vacation, enjoy my time with my family. I didn't need to work during then. I didn't need to pass up on the vacation, just send my family. So, at least in the Air Force, I know we go, integrity first, service before self, and excellence all we do. But one of the big things that they weighed was family on there, making sure that you're taking care of your family. And I felt like that at the very beginning before even starting day one. And then with the mission, I felt like since I've started with them, they've let me be creative on my own position. It's a brand new position, so they're letting me run how I want to run with it. I'm not being micromanaged. They tell me kind of like what they want and picture, and then I figure out how to get there myself. So, um, I like the autonomy and the trust of being able to work with them. Just kind of like how it was when I was inside the Air Force. We've all had bosses where like it's been micromanaged, like how you need to do stuff. It's not been that way. And it's even in my short time, it's kind of felt like a family already. We have our weekly calls twice a week and always jumping on there, and we chat every morning with the team. So definitely enjoy it. With my time that I've already been there. Like I said, short time, but it definitely made me feel welcome.
I promise
Yeah,
I
it
didn't pay
sounds
him
almost
extra.
it almost sounds like you just basically took your flight chief job and put it in the civilian sector without these abilities, what you're able to come and go
That's
do.
the best way to explain it, correct? Instead of going like back tier one, like your lower level recruiter, that's what it felt like. Correct.
Yeah. So what kind of opportunities do you have there?
It's a great
So
question.
Or what do you have? Go for it.
So right now we're trying to build up the skill bridge for it. So it's been submitted. I know we're just waiting for it. And right now I'm just networking with not with all the TAPS offices, but with quite a few TAPS offices across the nation, trying to just give them more information about career fields that we have that people might not know about in their local area. They might have a skill set. That we could use and we could help benefit them. So that's really what it is just spreading awareness for Dycom right now. Because when you think telecommunications, a lot of people haven't heard of Dycom before. Like you've heard of Verizon, AT&T. So that's the biggest thing is just spreading awareness, market Dycom right now.
Yeah, and some of the jobs that we do offer is we're, like I said, a contracting company that we worked with like AT&T, the Comcast, like Brian said, and we do a lot of the infrastructure and utility work across the US. So we do have a lot of different types of positions from engineering, that is like the hands-on work hand in hand with construction and logistics on that life cycle of the project. Then we do construction on the underground telecommunications projects nationwide. We do maintenance as a smaller part of our business, but it's becoming a bigger part of the business when it comes to the networks across the country, and restoration when needed. And then locating. So like whenever you see those people that are putting the flags and spray painting on the ground, that's locating. And that's what we do to make sure that we are not hitting fuel, like fuel lines, gas lines, all those different things when we are excavating.
A lot of dig safe time.
Exactly. And then fulfillment is last but not least, but we do a lot of, and I'm sorry, that's not the last one, but we do in-home and drop installations. This is a smaller, again, part of our business because we don't do a lot of in-home, but we are growing into that part of the business. And then program management. So we are doing a lot of programs and projects across the United States, and we're growing vastly. There's a lot of projects, especially in the AI data center world, that are growing and trying to build that infrastructure, and we are a large part of that piece. So I'll let Brian take over here. Oh, you're on mute, Brian.
You're muted. It's either that or you're a bad ventriloquist.
All right. Am I good?
You're
Yes.
good.
Okay. So I'd say my biggest thing from here is I've got exactly what I was looking for from the moment I was separating. I applied myself when I was going through SkillBridge. Um, like I said, sometimes you get lucky. I don't know if I got lucky or just the right time or opportunity comes by. So just make sure that you apply yourself. I got to do something that was relevant to what I did while I was in the military. Granted, it's still a transition because I'm not putting people in the military anymore. But now I'm putting people in the military in another career field. So it's pretty awesome. I loved being a recruiter and changing people's life, putting them in the Air Force. And now it kind of feels like I can continue to do that by putting people who served in career fields that could fit their needs. And I still feel like I'm kind of servicing the community. Like if storms go on or any network issues or anything like that, we're going to go out there and get it fixed. So still has a sense of like serving your community. So does
Do
anybody
y'all have
have
like a
any? Oh, go ahead.
do y'all have like a disaster team that, a hurricane comes in where it's a specialized team for that kind of stuff? Because I mean, to me, that sings military folks.
And we don't. So, I mean, it would be dependent on because we're across so many different subsidiaries. It just depends on where the info, like where it happens and if they're able to do that type of recovery. Because each subsidiary can be anywhere from like sometimes 70 people in that organization to sometimes 3,000. It just depends.
Got it. Yeah, is there any particular career or not career, but positions you're looking for skill bridgers in? Or is it just, hey, any
Not
rec
yet
could
from
become a
yeah,
skill bridge?
yeah. Well, right now we are just undergoing the application with SkillBridge. So I would say in the future, when we do implement it, it'd be supervisor roles. Um, but right now, I mean, we're hiring for everything. There's on average anywhere from 1,400 to 1,700 jobs across our subsidiaries. So it's a lot. It's a big company and a lot of hiring. So I can kind of share that, but I wanted to share a little bit of our benefits depending on if they're of interest to anybody. Brian?
What's Lantern?
It is oh my gosh, oh God, I want to say it's a te not telehealth. I don't know, to be honest. That's a great question.
First thing that popped up, it's got an asterisk too, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not familiar with this. That's a
It changed names. That's why I don't remember what it was. Was under a different name before, and I had recognition of what it was under the old name, but I don't know. I'd have to follow back up with you on that one.
curious. That's
So
all.
for the medical benefits, this is really just going to be a key component for the people that are separating, not retiring, because of the health benefits. For saving benefits, they have a 401k, um, employee stock purchase, but some of that's not going to be too heavy on your side if like you're retiring and stuff. So.
And I just
Yeah.
pulled it up. I'm sorry. It's a for high cost care. If you have any high cost care that is outside of like the coverage for your medical prescription coverage, like surgeries and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good. Yes, yeah, especially if you pick up somebody who wasn't a retiree that, have the TRICARE for life or, the VA stuff going for them. That is a huge deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
so what are the typical skill sets you're going to be looking for out of the military? Any particular career fields, or is it wide open kind of stuff?
I'd say it's wide
So
open. There's a lot of I'm sorry, Brian. I would say there's a lot of transferable skill sets, but I'll let Brian answer that.
yeah, so if you're not looking for like outside of like project management and human resources or leadership roles, like if you want to like be boots on the ground, we're kind of looking towards like people who are handy, like CE, Power Pro. Um, it doesn't have to be, it could be something like working on age equipment, just as long as they have some experience kind of working with their hands. So, but there's other positions that I've seen on here like paralegal, safety, there's a whole bunch, there's IT positions. So there's quite a bit.
Good stuff. Matthew, go ahead, sir.
Brian and Danielle, it's a pleasure. Do y'all's outreach out to LA area?
We do. We have business under California. I'll actually pull up in the next slide because that was actually going to be the where we like all the jobs were and the different how to find them because it is a convoluted process on our website. So I can kind of show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, please do. Appreciate that.
So we put a QR code on here that actually goes to our website, but I'm going to click on the link just to show you guys, and hopefully it doesn't. Sorry, it wasn't clicking on the link, but this is on our website. It has all of our different subsidiaries and a map of all of our subsidiaries. You can click, on the different organizations. I just know from like looking, so say in California, I know that VCI operates in California, and then we have another one, Cablecom, that also operates in California. So you can kind of scroll through and see, and like once you find the one that operates, you can actually click on them and scroll down, and then there's a link to the careers page with each one. But we operate, like I said, it's all across all 50 states. So you're able to see when you kind of scroll where everyone is.
It's actually a good feature. That's a real good feature.
It helps because, like I said, it's under so many different subsidiary names. It gets a little convoluted and hard to find if you don't know exactly where you're looking for.
So where do you think that you probably have like the most need nationally? Is there a region where you just have a more, more difficulty than others, or there's higher turnover?
I would say, honestly, I don't know that it actually is a certain region. I'd say right now the hardest to fill probably are going to be in like these states right here, because this is where we're expanding a little bit, and it is a little bit higher, like harder to find people. Like
Yeah, lower
Minnesota,
population.
yeah, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yeah, so lower population density and a lot more land to cover.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And we have a lot of roles that are open to traveling too, like traveling roles that you may not be working in the same location at all times.
What is that? What kind of roles are those? What's that look like?
That could be anything. It could be like program manager, project manager. It could be underground, um, telecommunications, like work. It could be aerial work. A lot of those roles have the ability to have traveling, and they're always listed as traveling on the role, like on the actual title, so people are well aware when they are looking.
So for area work, you're talking drone operation?
No, it's actually doing aerial work, like with the towers, with the cell phone towers.
And so are you talking just like, hey, you're above the ground a lot, or you're working from a helicopter? Because I
No,
mean,
no,
those
yeah,
industries have that.
you're above the ground. We build the cell phone tower. So like I know that it's AT&T and providing the service, or whoever, Verizon, we're the ones building that tower and making sure that it's there and that it's functioning properly before we turn it over to the vendors that we work with.
I've got to imagine the people who are building and working those towers are probably getting paid pretty well to be up there. Would that be would you be able to give a ballpark on those, the monkeys that are climbing up and down on that?
Ooh, it depends. And I'll honestly say it depends on the region and it depends on the subsidiary. So I would say that it's not consistent right now, depending on the region or the organization that it falls under. That's something as a team we are trying to get a little bit more consistent on, but I don't want to give a ballpark just because it could vary and I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's like 40 or over 100. Because I got to imagine that's a dangerous job, but it's cool work too if that's what you're into.
Yeah, and we train 100% on all those roles. We have training centers across 3 different training centers in the United States, and then we're building our massive training center that is actually kind of where my map is right here. It's near the Atlanta area, and we're going to build a telecommunications training center that is Dycom only, and we are going to train our employees at that location. And we want to make sure that it's because some of our subsidiaries are smaller, and we want to make sure that there's an area that they can get trained in that's not going to cause unstress on their staffing currently. So it'll be multiple subsidiaries training together.
Yeah, so Brian will be sending people back to basic training again, is what you're saying.
Basically,
Yeah.
there will be housing and on site and food. Hopefully it's a little bit better than barrack living.
A lot less roommates, that's for dang sure. Yeah, you have 59 roommates, it gets old quick.
Yeah.
What do you think the most rewarding part of this kind of work is?
On my end, I would say at least every day while I'm working, I'm like, I want to get a veteran hired. Like someone is gonna get a job today for me. So that for me is just self-satisfaction. And it's to be able to do like what I was still doing, but be able to do it now since I got out. So it almost feels like I still have a sense of service for me. So
Yeah,
And I would say,
that was huge for
oh,
me. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, for our employees, a lot of them that I've talked to, we promote a lot from within. So there's been a lot of internal growth within the organization. So I think from a standpoint of like our employee population, it's really that they know that they're given a chance. If they have the motivation and the want and the ability to grow, there's opportunity there. And we offer educational assistance, we train. There's a lot of programs that we offer for growth with the employees. And I think that is a testament to what the organization, and people are our asset, our number one asset, and we want to make sure they feel supported.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a people job. Chris, go ahead, sir.
Hey, Brian, if possible, I'd like to talk with you after, maybe sometime, maybe connect when you have time, see if there's an opportunity there. I have a lot of experience. I think that I was looking at some of the positions and stuff, and I think I'll be able to potentially fit in there. And so I just want to talk to you about some of those opportunities, maybe get some information on them, not
yeah,
take too much time discussing them.
I just dropped my LinkedIn on there. If you want to add me, then whenever I get the connection request, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Yep, no problem.
Awesome. What other stuff would you guys like to share?
I just want to share how impressed I am that you guys were able to find us so quickly on LinkedIn, to be honest. I had so many requests since we've been on here, and I'm like, I don't even have the same last name that I have on Zoom over here, so I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you. As soon as you came on, I was like, oh, crud, I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, it's kind of what I do. That's why I drop it in the chat. So that way you guys can link up and make things pretty easy. So it's all service. It's all service. So, I mean, Brian, you've been there for a little while. Can you share any success stories that you've had with bringing a veteran in, or somebody, you're like, hey, this gal's in bad shape and they're coming in and killing it? I know it's still a little early for you.
So it's still pretty early. I've had some people submit applications or start the process last week. So it's still early, but just having people reach out to me and getting them to fill out applications and networking with like the taps. It was funny. I was using all the networking they taught us, and I was reaching out to the tap center in Georgia and trying to get a hold of them. And I found someone else on LinkedIn that worked there, and I sent them a request. And then I finally got a hold of the person that I left a voicemail with, and he reached out to me. He's like, hey, my office partner was asking, like, did you send him a request? Because he's interested in one of the jobs. So now one of the people that works at the tap center, the civilians, is trying to apply for Dycom. And it was funny because when I was a recruiter, I put a teacher in the Air Force, which was one of my biggest victory stories. And now I have a TAPS person that I'm talking to, trying to let us speak there, trying to join now. So
Yeah, one of the games I played when I was recruiting recruiters from other branches
yeah,
and then bringing them in. That was my favorite game. I got one from each branch. It was tough. I also was doing it for 18 years almost. So yeah, I played the long game because you need to do something to entertain yourself in between the tedium some days.
true.
Yeah, so I mean, I wasn't expecting this side, so I had like a lot of centric questions on your transition. I mean, what do you think's been the hardest part so far? Now that you're on terminal, it's essentially behind you. You're just waiting for the 214. What's been the thing you've been chewing on as you transition?
Well, the hardest part was staying faithful and committed, like to everything that you're doing, and you're not seeing it pay off even like weeks down the road or even a month or 2 months. That's the hardest part I saw during my transition is just you got to push yourself like it's a normal job. So you got to apply yourself like how you would back at your home station if you truly want to make your skill bridge time work out for you. So, and make sure you have like a good team behind you that has your back, like whether it's your family, friends, someone in your 7 Eagle class, someone keeping you on track and motivating you while you're doing it, I would say would be a big thing. I had that luckily, so that's something that helped me out.
Gotcha. And this is one for both of you. I mean, I'm sure you both dealt, I'm sure Danielle's dealt with veterans too, but have you seen any red flags come up on resumes? You're like, yeah, don't say that. That's a quick way to go right into the dustbin. You know, not being deceptive, just the way it's delivered.
I don't know that
So-
I've seen red flags per se. I would say that my advice is only just keep it shorter. I know that, especially I worked in the government, they always told us long resumes, and then civilian is always short resumes, and then focus on your wins, not your duties that you had, that the wins that you had and the roles that you had, because that's really what proves yourself. I feel like when they're looking at your resume, they're looking for what you've accomplished.
What about you, Bri?
Yeah, I would say don't write it like your evaluation, your yearly eval. Like when we did it, it was action impact result. Um, it the resume shouldn't read like that. That's one thing that I would say is looking at resumes. Um, it's hard to understand what you did, especially I'm not even being in the military, but seeing someone like in the army that did an AFSC that I was never around. Sometimes it's hard to understand. So try to make sure that you're transitioning it to a civilian resume. I know they're teaching it there at 7 Eagle, but just make sure that you are applying that. So
Got it. Got it. Hey, anybody else have any other questions that they would like to ask while we're here? Going. Awesome. You guys have any parting thoughts you'd like to share before we close things up?
no, I appreciate it. Thank you for having us, and
Hey.
it was nice being back on. Do you have anything, Daniela?
Nope. Thank you so much for having us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Brian and Daniela, definitely reach out to you and talk to you about the SkillBridge stuff because obviously we have a little experience on there. So